It's a sun-drenched Ards Peninsula for the last road race of the season, the Carrowdore 100. The sport is still reeling from the spate of casualties in recent weeks, and the spectators who've come in their thousands to this beautiful part of the country on the first Saturday in September will surely miss some familiar faces. But a good day's racing seems assured. The preparations in the paddock are just as frenzied as ever. The chase for vital Irish National Championship points is very much on. We start with the 125cc bikes, always guaranteed to provide some entertaining action. So we can go to the grid and join our commentator, Stephen Watson.
Darren Lindsay on bike 55 has already been crowned the Irish 125cc Super Kings champion, but he'll still want a race win today. This man is his main challenger, Robert Dunlop. He holds the lap record and the race record around this Carrowdore circuit with 7 wins to his name. There on the front row, on the second row is 17, Darren Burns, bike 86, Nigel Moore, and then it's number 5, Trevor Ritchie. The Carrowdore 100 circuit is 5.4 miles long. Away from the start line, the first corner is Cardy Corner. Then it's on to one of the new chicanes, the Brig chicane. Donever Corner is next, then the twisting and turning section before New Road Corner. Then the very fast stretch along Kilbright Road and the turn into Carney Hill Corner. Malile Bend is next, into Carrowdore Village with the Manse chicane, Manse Corner and back to the start-finish. The fans are ready for the start of this Super Kings 125cc race. On the front row of the grid from left to right is bike 4, Robert Dunlop, 10 is Mark Curtin, 55 is Darren Lindsay. They wait for the drop of the flag and they're away, and it's Lindsay who's got an absolute flyer. Curtin's in second and Robert Dunlop third. 6-lap race, remember. The second wave, bike 60 there, Ronnie Scott, and he's got the best start in that race. So first stop is Cardy Corner. And it's Lindsay who leads, but Robert Dunlop's up to second place. The bike's here accelerating up to 130 miles an hour. Darren Lindsay, bike 55, 4 is Robert Dunlop, 10 Mark Curtin, and 7 is Davy Lemon. Bringing up the tail, bike 86, that's Nigel Moore. On to one of these new chicanes. The Brig chicane is first. Well, it looks very awkward indeed, and it's very, very slow. Darren Lindsay negotiates it safely. Robert Dunlop still second. But up to third there went Davy Lemon, so Davy Lemon has moved up a place at Donever Corner. Davy Lemon making a challenge. Curtin's in fourth, Nigel Moore in fifth. New Road Corner, Lindsay. Nice smooth style from the 28-year-old from Dundrod. Dunlop second, looks under his shoulder. You can see Davy Lemon still behind him. Now this is the Kilbright Road, the fastest section on the course. The little bike's here in top gear and accelerating upwards of 130 miles an hour, touching 140 miles an hour, and Lindsay is really trying. You can see him wiggling all over the place there. Dunlop second, Lemon still third as they approach Malile Bend and the turn into Carrowdore Village. A unique road racing circuit right through the centre of the town. And Lindsay has opened up a big advantage from Dunlop. These little bikes thrilling the big crowd here in Carrowdore. Lindsay approaches the Manse chicane. Well, the riders have been very critical of any chicanes put into the road racing circuits this season, but these are very, very slow. Well, Dunlop hardly able to go through that corner in first gear, had to slip the clutch there. But they're there for safety reasons. Oh, Darren Lindsay's got his foot out. Lindsay has a problem. Well, Lindsay will retire from this race. He can't stop his machine. He's up the curb, he's under the grass, and Lindsay is out. So it leaves the door open for Robert Dunlop. Well, Lindsay was having a storming race, but he doesn't make it to the end of lap 1. So disappointment for the 1999 and the newly crowned 2000 champion. But Robert Dunlop will take advantage on to lap 4. He's opened up a gap now from bike 7, the second place man David Lemon. Robert Dunlop at Cardy Corner. Drops it down a couple of gears and then squeezes on the throttle, accelerating away. Lemon in second. Third is bike 10, Mark Curtin, so Curtin's in third. And behind him is Nigel Moore. Looking for a podium place, Moore. Fifth place is Trevor Ritchie. Sixth is Alan Pagan. And seventh is Darren Burns. That's your race order at the moment. But at the front, it's Dunlop who leads. He's at the Briggs chicane. And they're so very slow, aren't they? Well, I can understand why the riders don't like them. But safety is paramount. New Road corner. Over the brow of the hill comes Robert Dunlop. Behind him still is David Lemon. Yes, he's there, Robert. And he's not letting you open up a big advantage. Curtin still in third. Moore closing in slightly in fourth place. On to the Kilbright Road. This the fastest section, remember, and Robert Dunlop is really trying. So Dunlop looking for his 7th win around this Carrowdore 100 circuit. Into Carney Hill corner. Next up is Malile Bend and the turn into Carrowdore Village. Robert Dunlop accelerating through the town. Lemon in second place. And speeds of over 100 miles an hour through Carrowdore. Approaching the Manse chicane. Pops out from behind the bubble, Robert Dunlop. Lemon is sticking to him though. So Dunlop not getting away as far as he would like. Little shake of the head. I think that shows the disgust of Robert Dunlop at that new chicane, but he squeezes on the power. And away he goes. Back at the chicane. Oh, Nigel Moore's closed right up on Mark Curtin. So Moore is right behind Curtin and really making a big challenge now. So Curtin has a battle on his hands. They flick the bikes from left and then a quick right. At Ballyboley corner, Robert Dunlop sitting up on the bike. It's a slow corner this. And then through the start-finish area. Curtin third. Moore in fourth. But sitting right on Curtin's tail is Nigel Moore. Having a good race, these two men. Robert Dunlop on to lap 5, and I can tell you that on lap 4, Robert Dunlop recorded the fastest lap of the race. Remember, he's the lap record holder around this circuit, so it's one he thoroughly likes. Cardy corner. Robert Dunlop, 39 years of age from Ballymoney, in his 22nd year of racing, and still at the top of his game. Curtin goes through. Moore behind him. That's your 1, 2, 3, 4. And 5th is Trevor Ritchie. 6th is still Alan Pagan. And 7th, Darren Burns. Donover corner. Well, I think David Lemon is closing in on Dunlop. Lemon seems to be closing the gap on Robert Dunlop, so he's still trying very hard. New Road corner, Robert Dunlop. Still worried by the challenge of Lemon. Curtin. Oh, well, he's nearly lost sight now of Nigel Moore. So Curtin has responded when Moore closed in behind him. 5th place man Trevor Ritchie goes through. Then Alan Pagan and Darren Burns right behind him. On to the fast Kilbright Road. Over the little jump. Oh, wiggle there from Davy Lemon. So Davy Lemon, who's really recognised more as a short circuit man with 8 Irish Short Circuit Championship wins to his name, is threatening Robert Dunlop, the pure road racing man. Lemon with just the 1 road race victory to his name. That was the Colinchie back in 1991. But proving he's a good operator on the roads as well. Oh, Moore and Curtin, they're having a ding-dong battle. And Curtin looks behind him, and all he can see close up is Nigel Moore. Nice to see the crowds out in Carrowdore for this last road race of the season. Looking through the trees for Robert Dunlop. Well, that's bike 27, Bertie Bradford, a back marker, and Robert Dunlop is closing in on Bradford, and he's going to pass him. Oh, look how slow this is. This is dreadful for Dunlop because David Lemon can close right in. Well, bike 27, ridden by Bertie Bradford. He's been around a long time. I'm not sure what age he is, but people tell me he's in his late 60s, and he's stuck in the middle of this battle at the Carrowdore 100. Well, what a credit to Bertie Bradford, still out racing at his age. Curtin goes through. He's opened up another gap on Nigel Moore. In 5th place, who will it be? Oh, it's 17, Darren Burns. Burns just moved up to 5th place. In 6th was bike 5, that's Trevor Ritchie. Robert Dunlop, the crowds cheer. On to the last lap they go. Mark Curtin in 3rd. Robert Dunlop, final lap. A win here today would elevate him to 4th place on the all-time wins chart at Carrowdore. Raymond McCulloch has 13, Stephen Cull has 13, his brother Joey has 9, and this would give Robert 8 wins around Carrowdore. And I don't think that David Lemon will catch him, because when Robert Dunlop gets his nose in front, there's no catching him. Curtin, Nigel Moore nowhere in sight. There he is now. So Moore looks as if he'll have to settle for 4th. Darren Burns is definitely 5th. Robert Dunlop over the brow of the hill in the New Road corner. A winner here 2 years ago. Dennis McCulloch won the race in 1999. But this looks like a return to the top step of the podium for Robert Dunlop. Bertie Bradford is now sandwiched in between Mark Curtin and Nigel Moore. So he's really in the thick of the action. Dunlop along the Kilbright Road. This will be his 70th Irish National Road Race win. The men in front of him with more wins are Philip McCallan with 84, Raymond McCulloch with 99, and Joey Dunlop, his brother, with 120. But a remarkable record from Robert Dunlop. 3rd place, we look back down the track, it's Mark Curtin. There's no taking that place away from him now, unless he makes a big, big mistake. Curtin in 4th. Bradford, whose age I would really love to know, answers on a postcard, please. And 5th there was Darren Burns. Into the Carney Hill corner, on to Malile Bed. Robert Dunlop's already there, and he's into Carrowdore Village and on his way to victory as he rests his left hand. Pins and needles in that hand Robert Dunlop gets. It's from operating a thumb brake on the left-hand side. Curtin 3rd, right out towards the curb. Into the chicane. Robert Dunlop. Little wheelie. Looks behind him. Lemon's still there. Dunlop on the crossing Honda. Into the chicane comes Mark Curtin. So Curtin riding to what looks to be a safe 3rd place. And Nigel Moore in 4th. Darren Burns still in 5th. Trevor Ritchie and Alan Pagan behind him. Ballybowley corner. Robert Dunlop just has to take the checkered flag. The crowd cheers, and Dunlop is the race winner. Lemon takes 2nd. Mark Curtin will be 3rd. Bike 86 just entering the picture. Nigel Moore is 4th. But Darren Burns, who was in 5th place, has had some sort of problem, because it's Trevor Ritchie who's taken 5th place, Alan Pagan 6th, and Darren Burns a 7th.
So what a popular win that was for Robert Dunlop on board the Crossan Honda, and that follows his emotional win at the Mid-Antrim just a few weeks earlier. David Lemon made his local knowledge count to claim 2nd. Mark Curtin was 3rd. Dungannon provided the next 2 riders home, Nigel Moore and Trevor Ritchie. And it was Alan Pagan who broke the Honda stranglehold on the leaderboard with 6th place on his Yamaha.
I actually got a wasp inside my visor going down the back, and I had to get it out. I was afraid of it stinging me in the face or my eye or something, so I had to get it out, and I could see Darren was, because obviously I had to sit up to get the wind down to blow it out, you know, and I could see Darren's bike getting away, and I said, shit. But I had to get rid of the wasp first and then just see what I could do after that, you know. So then when I seen Darren going out, David Lemon rode very hard, but, you know, it was okay, yeah.
You were obviously getting good signals there. David looked as though he was closing on you at one stage, but you eased away from him again at the last lap.
Yeah, I just put on a bit more pressure, you know, left me braking a wee bit later and just rode a wee bit hard for a lap, you know, to see if I could, you know, and it worked okay, because there's nothing as It's bad from a fella leading another fella catching, because it gives him a buzz and it demoralises you, so worked out okay.
The new chicanes have obviously made a fair difference to the course, because the lap times are up by some 20 seconds.
Yeah, well, you know, they're none of us lovers of chicanes, but I appreciate that there's places that needs them, but these are absolutely ridiculous, you know. This used to be my favourite national circuit, but if chicanes has absolutely ruined it. They're just far too slow, that's all. First gear, and you have to slip the clutch in 125 to get out. That tells you how slow you're going. You know, you can't even ride through it in first gear, so I think they've just gone a wee bit overboard on that aspect, yeah.
Darren Lindsay's early exit didn't prevent him clinching the Super Kings title, though. Short circuit specialist Mark Lunny couldn't make up that gap. Robert Dunlop's late surge has moved him up to third, with 2 rounds still to go at the Bishop's Court meeting on your screens next week.
A big crowd at Kirkeston enjoying the sunshine on this Saturday afternoon. Some people preferring to listen to the bikes rather than watch them. The next race is the Ardsborough Council support race, and bike 31 Raymond Graham has got the best start, so Raymond Graham leads the support race. Next up for them is Cardy Corner. Speeds here up to about 130 miles an hour. On the 600 Honda, it's Raymond Graham. But up the left-hand side, it's Neil McWhirter on a Yamaha 600. But Graham drops it right across the nose into Cardy Corner. Well, there was no stopping Graham there. Ian Forrestal on bike 108 is third. Alan Egan on bike 50 is fourth. Briggs chicane. Raymond Graham leads. Then it's Neil McWhirter. Forrestal. Then Egan. On bike 140 is Gordon Taylor. Bike 10 is Maurice Hogan. And 60 is George Scott. The leaders are already through. But Raymond Graham has dropped the second, because bike 36, Neil McWhirter, is the new leader. I'll confirm that at New Road Corner. And over the brow, yes, comes Neil McWhirter on bike 36. So McWhirter on the 600 Yamaha leads the support race, and he's opened up a bit of an advantage as well. On to the Kilbright Road. Touching speeds here of 130 miles an hour. Oh, wheelie there from McWhirter. And McWhirter, well, just look at the advantage he has going into Carney Hill Corner as he pulls another wheelie. Second place, Raymond Graham. Third, Alan Egan. Fourth, Ian Forrestal. And fifth, Gordon Taylor. Into Carrowdore Village. McWhirter accelerating away. Graham's in second, but dropping behind. The rest of the bikes stream through. Into the Manse chicane. McWhirter in second. Bike 31, Raymond Graham. But then it's the Green Machine, bike 50 of Alan Egan, so Egan has moved up to third place. McWhirter. And then this gaggle of riders for second place, Graham and Egan. Forrestal in fourth. But the man in black leads the race, bike 36 at Ballybully Corner. There's no stopping Neil McWhirter. Bike 10 there, down and around 6th place at the moment is Maurice Hogg. So Hogg having a pretty solid ride. On to the last lap. Well, just look at the advantage that Neil McWhirter has now in this support race. Having a tremendous season, McWhirter, around Cardy Corner. His challengers nowhere in sight. But Egan on bike 50 has moved up to second, so he's in second place now. Good ride from Alan Egan. Third place is Forrestal. Back at the start-finish, the rest of the riders stream through. On to the last lap. Oh, and there's a rider down. There's a crash at the start-finish corner, and it's bike 49. Well, that's Ron Kendrick. So a tumble for Ron Kendrick. Thankfully, it's a slow corner. And here's exactly what happened. Just took the corner a little too quick. The machine slid from underneath him. It crashed down the road. Kendrick crawled away from the bike, and bike 46, Kenneth McRae, just about avoided the wreckage. At Donover Corner, the leader is still Neil McWhirter. Into New Road Corner. This will be yet another victory this season for the man riding the 600cc Yamaha. The 750 Kawasaki of Alan Egan is second. but he'll never reel in McWhirter. In third place is Forrestal. He's also on a 600cc Honda. 140 is Gordon Taylor. 31 is Raymond Graham. So Raymond Graham, who led this race early on, is now in 5th place. Along the Kilbright Road for the very last time. Well, this is a pure road racing circuit, isn't it? Between the telegraph poles and the hedges. And a big wheelie over the jump there for Neil McWhirter on his way to victory. McWhirter on bike 36 into Carrowdore Village. Easy does it for McWhirter. Second place is still bike 50, Alan Egan. Then it's Ian Forrestal, followed by Gordon Taylor and Raymond Graham. Maurice Hoggs in 6th place, Phil Archer 7th, and George Scott is down in 8th place. There's Raymond Graham just trying to go past Gordon Taylor there, and was almost successful. Approaching the Manse chicane. Neil McWhirter down through the gears. First gear through that chicane. It's very, very slow and very tricky. Neil McWhirter squeezes on the power. Well, this support race class has provided some good racing this season, and certainly is a breeding ground for the road racers of the future. Egan, Forrestal. But at Ballypoly Corner, the flags wave for Neil McWhirter. An easy victory for him. A superb ride, checkered flag, and a first place. Second is Egan. He's held off Ian Forrestal in third. So last corner for Alan Egan. And across the finish line for an excellent second place. Forrestal makes up the podium positions. Fourth is Gordon Taylor. And fifth is Raymond Graham. So that's the support race at Carrowdore. Confirmation of the results. The winner, Neil McWhirter. Second, Alan Egan. Forrestal was third. Taylor fourth. Graham fifth. And Maurice Hoggs sixth.
Now, there's no mistaking the sound of these machines. The big guns are out for the open class, the Lambert and Butler Challenge. Adrian Archibald very much the man to watch here today, particularly as Richard Britton is an absentee. Let's see how they go. Here's Stephen again.
Thank you, Jackie. The Lambert and Butler Series has provided some spectacular racing this season. Plenty of 250s out as well. That's the bike of Darren Lindsay. But the front row in the big bikes from left to right is bike 7, Adrian McFarlane, 12 is John Donnan, and 13, Adrian Archibald. And it's McFarlane on the 600 Yamaha who gets off to the best start. But just look at Archibald on the left-hand side of your picture. Well, the more powerful machine, and he storms in front. The second wave are all 250s. Alan Bud Jackson and Darren Lindsay on the front row. Oh, stuttering start from Lindsay. Bud Jackson got away. But just look at Lindsay catching him and passing him now. Lindsay showing he's a good competitor on a 250 as well. But at the front in the big bikes, it's Adrian Archibald who leads. But just look at bike 12 of John Donnan. A big wheelie into second place and past Adrian McFarlane. Cardy Corner, Archibald on a 900 Honda. Donnan on a 1000cc Yamaha. Third place is McFarlane on his 600cc Yamaha. The second wave, it's Lindsay still leading. So bike 155, Darren Lindsay leads the 250s at Cardy Corner. At the front though, in the main race, the Lambert and Butler Challenge, Adrian Archibald still leads. He's at New Road Corner. Donnan is in second place and McFarlane does now drop back a little further. So Donnan looks like the only man who can catch Archibald. Donnan, last year's 1000cc Irish road race champion. Adrian Archibald accelerating, top gear here, upwards of 150 miles an hour. Both wheels in the air, frightening stuff from Archibald. Wheelies along the Kilbright Road. Donnan's in second. Into Carrowdore Village, around the Malile Bend. Adrian Archibald right out towards the curb. Up through the gears, upwards of about 130 miles an hour. And then sharp braking towards this new chicane, the Manse chicane. And as we've seen before, it's very, very slow through here. Very gingerly there for Adrian Archibald. Donnan closing in behind him. And Archibald, well, this could be a start-to-finish win, because unless he makes a mistake, I don't think John Donnan can catch him. At Ballybully corner, Donnan is still clinging on to Adrian Archibald. He's still on his coattails. Donnan over the start-finish line. In third place is Adrian McFarland. 3 road race wins to his name, but it doesn't look like he'll add to that tally today, because Adrian Archibald is opening up a big advantage now from John Donnan. And Archibald, the Lambert and Butler Championship leader, looks like he'll stretch that advantage as well. Around Cardy corner, on to Donover corner, and then it's New Road. Back at Ballybully, the 250s. Lindsay leads, but Keith Shannon in second place is down. So Keith Shannon crashes just before Ballybully corner and takes half of the hedgerow with him. The marshals get his machine out of the way. Thankfully Shannon's okay. He's on his feet, walking back towards his bike. But that was a worrying moment for Keith Shannon. Well, here's exactly what happened. Just a little too quick. The bike went from underneath him. He went down like a ton of bricks, slid into the curb and the hedges. Unfortunate to get away with it. Well, on to lap 3, bike 119 is Les Hart. Oh, there's something trailing from Les Hart's bike. Well, it's his chain. The chain of Les Hart's 250 Yamaha has fallen from his machine, and he's going absolutely nowhere. The flags are out to warn the riders on the big machines of the trouble. Archibald safely around New Road corner. Looks behind him. Donnan still there. So Donnan in second. In third place is Adrian McFarland on bike 7. And I can tell you that Darren Lindsay on a 250, bike 155. He started in the second wave, but he's up to 4th on corrected time. So Lindsay on the Nibbles catering machine having a stormer. At Carrowdore, we stare right into the visor of Adrian Archibald. Well, he may look behind him, but this will be a procession by the looks of it for Adrian Archibald. He's missing his old sparring partner Richard Britton today, who provides the main challenge to Archibald, especially in the Lambert and Butler races. Normally, he flicks his head around his shoulder, and Richard Britton is right there, but not today because he's missing. And Archibald looks to be on his way to a comfortable race win, even in these early stages. John Donnan. Still a good positive performance by him. At the start-finish, Archibald still hanging off the side of the bike. Well, I thought perhaps he wasn't trying, but those pictures indicate otherwise. Donnan. Little wiggle through the gears. He's in second. McFarland on a 600. Third place for him. On to lap 5. Adrian Archibald breaking down from about 130 miles an hour. 70 miles an hour around Cardy corner. Back at the start finish. Darren Lindsay, well, he's leading the 250 race, but he's 4th, remember, in the big bike race. And this really is a cracking performance. At Donover corner, Archibald through onto New Road, slipping and sliding. No problems for Adrian Archibald. 2 wins, remember, he had at the mid-antrim, and looks like following it up at Carrowdore with another. Donnan has caught a back marker. 57 is Adrian Logue on a 750 Suzuki. Well, as if Donnan didn't have enough problems trying to catch Archibald, he gets tangled up with Logue. Look at the speed of Archibald there. Along the Kilbright Road. Here comes Donnan bouncing and wheeling his way along. Well, John Donnan having a roller coaster trip. Adrian McFarland's in third. Through the humps and hollows for him as well. He was right off the machine there almost. So McFarland third place. But it's still Adrian Archibald who leads. He's already lapped the back marker. James McCullough gets lapped by Adrian Archibald. Through Carrowdore. Up towards this new chicane. One of two chicanes in the course, two big alterations to this Carrowdore circuit through the years. This is the 6th big change to the Carrowdore. Back in the 20s, it was a 5.3 mile circuit. In the 30s, an 8.3 mile circuit. Then we have the Cumber circuit, the Ballywalter circuit, and from 1966, this has been the main track for Carrowdore. But the lap records will not be touched today. James Courtney holds the fastest lap around Carrowdore. That was back in 1997. But because of these two new chicanes, the lap speeds are up by about 15 to 20 seconds this year. At the start-finish, Adrian Archibald on to his last lap. John Donnan. Well, very lackadaisical there by Donnan. He's taking no chances. Second place for him. Cardy Corner. Just under 5 miles to go for Adrian Archibald, and he will extend his lead in the Lambert and Butler Championship Series. 2 more rounds to go after today, remember. That's at Bishop's Court, and we'll have highlights of those next week on our road racing series. New Road, Archibald. Easiest victory this will be for him this season. Not even bothering to look behind him and showboating a little with a little wheelie for the fans there along the hedgerow. Donnan second, he gets a round of applause too. And McFarlane. Well, he's had a pretty good season, Adrian McFarlane. A winner earlier in the year at Cookstown. Darren Lindsay at Donover Corner. 4th place for Lindsay at the moment. It's Archibald who leads. But I remind you that Darren Lindsay on a 250 is in 4th place. Wheelie from Donnan again. Well, a little more comfortable this time along the Kilbright Road. Into Carrowdore for the final time. Taking it nice and gently now, Adrian Archibald. Just has to guide his 900cc Honda around this circuit one more time, and he'll take the win and, more importantly, the points in the Lambert and Butler Championship. Well, what a competitor Adrian Archibald is. A great Isle of Man TT, a super Irish road racing season. He was the Lambert and Butler winner last year. This man was the 1000cc road racing champion. But it's Archibald, age 31 from Ballymoney, approaching the 30 mark of road race wins. Takes another victory today. He's in sight of retaining the Lambert and Butler Championship. Cruises over the finish line. Donnan takes 2nd place. No problems for him either. Checkered flag, 2nd place for Donnan. 3rd is Adrian McFarlane. And that's your 1, 2, 3. Darren Lindsay on the 250. Well, great ride on the little bike from the man from Dundrod.
Yeah, I got off to a good start. I got away in the lead and just rode hard for a couple of laps to try and stretch a gap, and I just seemed to get a wee fraction away from John, then kept pulling every lap. But I was happy enough.
I started out, I was able to go with Adrian for the first couple of laps, and the clutch started slipping, and from there on I started dropping back for in 4th and 5th gear when I was trying to make it light over the crests. I couldn't get the front to lift and I was wiggling like mad, and my times just got worse and worse, so I just wanted to hang in to the end.
So Adrian Archibald confirms his Lambert and Butler mastery with a comfortable win on that impressive 900 Dowd Honda. 2nd was Richard Donnan on the big Tilston Yamaha machine. What a well-deserved reward for John. 3rd was Adrian McFarlane on the Rendezvous Yamaha, with Darren Lindsay on the 250 Honda, mixing it with the big boys in 4th place. And that win puts Archibald into a 20-point lead at the top of the Lambert and Butler standings. But there are 2 rounds of the short circuit at Bishop's Court to go. 2nd place Michael Swan will make this a title race to remember, I'm quite certain. Kieran McGrory is a distant 3rd, Richard Britton 4th, and John Donnan, he's moved into 5th spot.
But what of the unfortunate Keith Shannon, who had been in 2nd place in the 250s behind Darren Lindsay after his crash just before Ballyboley Corner, and deciding to cut the hedges as well.
I was very disappointed because I got a good start there and I felt very comfortable. I wasn't pushing it at all, but I think maybe the front tyre was still a wee bit cold, and when I put her into the corner, she just slid away from me.
The Regal 600 race at Carrowdore was to have been one of the features of the day. But as these riders came into the village, it was the first signal we had of the tragedy unfolding back on the circuit. The red flags went out immediately. The medical and emergency teams were swiftly into action. Competitors came to a halt at various points around the course. It was clear we had a major incident. After a lengthy delay, the ambulance sped away, and soon we were to learn that one of our best-loved riders had suffered fatal injuries. Eddie Sinton from Tandragee brought a smile to road racing wherever he competed. The sport, so thrilling, so exhilarating, so often claims the ultimate prize. He was truly one of the brightest and the best. A day which had started so brightly and which had for a time lifted the gloom that had encircled the sport in recent months was to end abruptly. And a clearly affected clerk of the course spoke for so many.
There was a high-speed incident and the rider was seriously injured. With that in mind and with due respect to the rider and family, we decided we should not continue. It was an unanimous decision by myself and the stewards of the meeting.
And that is appropriate given the background to road racing recently?
Yes, indeed. I think we've got to, show respect to the riders and their families. Racing is dangerous. Road racing is dangerous. We all know that. And up till then, the race had been going well. Obviously, we're well ahead of schedule and so on. But all that pales into insignificance when something like this happens. The course is safer, nobody can deny that, but it's not absolutely safe, and these things can happen. The motorcycling world, it's like a small family really, and there's so many people so friendly with each other, which makes it all the harder to take.
So the Carrowdore 100, whose organisers had done so much to improve safety, came to a sad and untimely close. In the next few months, officials, riders and other agencies will be looking in depth at just where road racing goes after what has been a calamitous year in human terms. We'll be back next week with the final rounds of the 3 major championships. It promises to be an exciting 11-race programme at the short circuit at Bishop's Court. Please join us there. But for the moment, from all of us at Carrowdore, it's goodbye.